Madhavan Jaya Kunja Vihare Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Prajanarandana Yasodhanandana Jaya Prajanarandana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Prajanarandana Yasodhanandana Yamuna Tiravanachare Jaya Kunda Vihare Yamuna Tiravanachare Jaya Kunda Vihare Jaya Radha Mandava Jaya Kunda Vihare Jaya Radha Mandava Jaya Kunda Vihare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Radha Shama Sundara, Radha Shama Sundara, Jaya Radha. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Oh, Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Srila Prabhupada ki, Guru Nitai ki, Krishna Balaram ji ki, Shri Radha Shama Sundar ki, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Nitai Go Premanande. Oh, glories to assembled devotees. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutana Shimanti Kavishan Swamiti. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. I want to thank you for your patience waiting for this class. So today we'll be looking at two verses, right? That is 39 and 40. So how do? We take the two, we take one, we take the other one. Okay, we start with the 40 first, with the 39 first. I think the 39 is where we have something to say. The 40 is like glorification. Hare Krishna. So we're taking the reading from chapter 11, text 39 and 40. So I think that both slokas, okay, let's try to do the first sloka here. So I take the first sloka myself, then we can do the second sloka together, which start with namo. Vāyur namo kriya varuṇaḥ shikṣka.
vāyur agniḥ varuṇaḥ śaśa-aṅkaḥ.
Prajāpatiḥ tvam prapitāmahaś. prapitāmahaś.
prajāpatis tvam prapitāmahaś.
Namaste sasistvam.
Namo namaste sahasra-kṛtvaḥ.
Punancha vāyupi namo namaste.
Punascha bhūyaḥ namo namaste.
So here we have vāyur, air, yama, the controller, agniḥ, fire, varuṇaḥ, water, śaśa-aṅkaḥ, the moon, prajāpatis, Brahmā, tvam, you, prapitāmahaḥ, the great grandfather, cha, also, namaḥ, my respect, namaḥ, again, my respect, ti, unto you, astu, let there be, śaśa-aṅkaḥ, 8,000 times, punaś, and again, bhūyaḥ, again, api, also, namaḥ, offering my respect, namaḥ, ti, offering my respect unto you. So the translation, you are air, you are the supreme controller, you are fire, you are water, you are the moon, you are Brahmā, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisance unto you 1,000 times, and again, and yet again. In the purport, the Lord is addressed here as air because the air is the most important representation of all the demigods. Being all-pervasive, Arjuna also addressed Krishna as the great grandfather because he is the father of Brahmā, the first living creature in the universe. So we go to text 40, right? Namo pushtatah prashtite.
Namo purastharatah prishtatasthi.
Namostu te tvat ipatsva.
Namastu te sarvata sarva.
Ananta pitta vakrema tvam.
Ananta virja anita vikramastam.
Savan sapsuto se swava.
Sarvam savapnosi tatosi sarva.
Okay, somebody try.
Namo purastharatah prashtaste.
Namo purastharatah prishtatasthi.
Namastu te sarvata eva sarva.
Namastu te sarvata eva sarva.
Ananta viryanita vikramastam.
Ananta virjanita vikramastam.
Sarvam samapnosi tatosi sarva.
Sarvam sarvapnosi tatosi sarvam. Namah purastharatah prishtatasthi.
Namo purastharatah prashtaste.
Namastu te sarvata eva sarva.
Namastu te sarvata eva sarva.
Ananta virjanita vikramastam.
Ananta viryanita vikramastam.
Sarvam samapnosi tatosi sarva.
Sarvam samapnosi tatosi sarva.
Namah purastharatah prishtatasthi.
Namastu te sarvata eva sarva.
Namastu te sarvata eva sarva.
Ananta viryanita vikramastam.
Ananta virjanita vikramastam.
Samapnosi tatosi sarva.
Sarvam samapnosi tatosi sarva.
Mataji wants to try.
Namah purastharatah prishtatasthi. Namastu te sarvata eva sarva. Ananta virjanita vikramastam. Sarvam savapnosi tatosi sarva.
Nama.
Namah.
Offering obeisances.
Offering obeisance.
First,
Purastha.
From the front.
From the front.
Atha. Also. Prajāpatiḥ. From behind.
From behind.
Ti. Unto you.
Unto you.
Namastu.
Namastu.
I offer my respect.
I offer my respect.
Ti. Unto you.
Unto you.
Sarvata.
Sarvataha.
From all sides.
From all sides.
Eva.
Evaha.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Saiva.
Sarva.
Because you are everything.
Because you are everything.
Anantavira.
Ananta Virya.
Unlimited potence.
Unlimited potence.
Atma Vikrama.
Amita Vikrama.
And unlimited forces.
Unlimited force.
Tvam.
Tvam.
You. Sarvam.
Sarva.
Everything.
Everything.
Samiso.
Sampo.
You covers.
You cover.
Tataha.
Tataha.
Therefore.
Therefore.
Asi.
Asi.
You are.
You are.
Sarva.
Sarva.
Everything.
Everything.
Translation. Obeisance to you from the front, from behind, from all sides. O unbound power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything. So let's take it together. Obeisance to you obeisance to you from the front.
Obeisances to you from the front.
From behind.
From behind.
From all sides.
From all sides.
O unbound power,
O unbounded power.
you are the master
You are the master
of limitless mind.
of limitless mind.
You are all pervading,
You are all pervading.
and thus
And thus
you are everything.
you are everything.
Srila Prabhupada's purpose. Out of loving ecstasy for Krishna, his friend Arjuna is offering his respect from all sides. He is accepting that he is the master of all potency and all powers, and far superior to all great warriors assembled on the battlefield. It is said in the Vishnu Puran, whoever comes before you, even if he be a demigod, is created by you, O Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Agyantimirāñjasya Janāñjana Ślākya Śaśa-aṅkaḥ Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaḥ. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutane Śrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Visisha Sunyabhari Piskatyaitana. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gauravata. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So what we have before us today is a very unique plight, or very unique sloka. Why the first text, which is 39, it has so much, we have few things to say there, but text 40, we're looking at Arjuna's offering obeisances. In other words, what are we actually looking at this particular text? In the first text, was it in the first? Maybe the third text in this sloka, Arjuna have requested Krishna that he wants to see his universal form. Right? I don't know if you are following this text. So he has a request. And what he has perceived in this form, this is what he's explaining. If we look at the first text, which is 39, devatas are mentioned. Right? How many devatas are mentioned in that first text? Do you take note of it? Huh? How many devatas are mentioned in that first text? 39. Devatas? How many devatas are mentioned? How many devatas did Arjuna mention in that first text? The first text, 39, Arjuna mentioned, devatas. How many are they? Huh? Pardon? No. How many are they? He mentioned devatas in that 39 sloka. Devatas are mentioned. How many are they? Huh? 3. Oh, really? 3. Somebody else want to try? Huh? Okay. 4. Okay. 6 devatas were mentioned in that in that 39 sloka. He mentioned yama. He mentioned vāyur. He mentioned moon, sama, chandra, and he mentioned who again? Agniḥ, fire. And he mentioned again? Huh? Yama. So 6 demigods were mentioned in that first slokas. So if we look at this first slokas, which is 39, and the demigods that are mentioned in that slokas, sometimes it appears that they are independent, but in actuality, they are not. They are all in the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is what Arjuna saw. And he's expressing, though they functions, but these demigods, they all incubate in the body of the Supreme Lord. For instance, if we look at Vāyur, the winged god, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is highly glorified, in particular in Canto 11, when the Avaduta, was he Avaduta Brahmana? Yeah, perhaps the Avaduta Brahmana, when he was speaking to King Yadu about his experience, what he learned from 24 gurus, he glorified the winds. What was his quality that he glorifies? He said the winds, in particular, the wind, it passed through different places. It passed through where they are incriminating somebody, burning the body of somebody. It passed through where different fetish things take place. It passed through all kind of different, obnoxious places. But there is one thing, one peculiar quality about this wind. It's never attached. It's never attached. So he said this was one quality he learned, that he go around the world, but it's not attached to any part of the world. And this quality keep him going on. So the Avaduta Brahmana, he glorified the winds. But if we look at these 6 different devatas that are mentioned in the first sloka, which is 39, they are all subject to the modes. They are all subject to the modes. So that is the reason why they are dependent. And they are all in the body of Krishna. So somebody may ask, if all these 6 devatas, they are subject to the modes, does it mean that Krishna is also subject to the mode? So the question is no. That is why, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not subject to the mode. And all these different devatas, they are all in him and they function according to his, dictation. So these are the, glimpses, visions, some of the visions you see. So these are what he's expressing. That though they function in their own different capacity, but they are not independent. They are all in you. More like you are still the person functioning. So he refers that Krishna is the grandfather of all grandfather. Even the grandfather of Brahmā. So in text 40, it's glorifying in a form of ecstatic way. And the idea of ecstatic is explained by Srila Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Instruction. So it's given normally from what do you call it, Vaishnava etiquette. We know that there are two aspects of obeisances, either the full one or the half one. But here, Arjuna is giving all kind of obeisances. Obeisances from the sides, obeisances everywhere. So these are the symptoms of ecstatic mode. But the experience that Arjuna is having here is not something we also cannot experience. We can also experience these things if we stick, to the instruction that I may like to share. There is an instruction which I really want to share. Upadasmrit. Yeah, Upadasmrit. So this instruction is very important. And if we actually take this instruction to heart, we'll see that the same experience that Arjuna has in seeing this form and analyzing the different personality that are incubated in this form, who appear to be independent, but they are not actually independent, but they are in the body of the Lord. So this experience also, we can feel this experience if we actually, take this instruction that I may like to share with you all today. So, do you really want to know about this instruction? Huh?
Yes.
All right? So the instruction is important because we had from that very auspicious day, that one of the GBC is requesting, is saying in that day that if we ever need a platform or we ever need a blueprint, we have gotten one. And what is that instruction? The first instruction here is always accept His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, as the preeminent Shiksha Guru for all time. Very important instruction. Preeminent. The role of Srila Prabhupada supersedes every other Shiksha Guru. So in other words, seeing Prabhupada in most of everything we do is very, very important. Because let us take a little touch before we, say a few things. Further than this. If you have a friend, most of us have a friend here, right? Sometimes we have close friends, sometimes we have best friends. And this best friend or close friend, you never really go into him, but one time he decided to show you some certain things. And most of the things that he shows you, or you happen to come to see him, they are all things that you never experience, that he actually has. How will you feel? How will you feel? For instance, this person you call your friend is showing you all kinds of things. The earth you are standing on, the air you are breathing, the fire that diagnoses, all these different phenomenal things, they are all his property. So how will you feel? You feel obliged. You feel, I never know my friend is such, a personality like this. So this is the experience that Arjuna has. And Krishna have enhanced his vision to see all these different personalities that are within him. So here we have a personality also who have seen the heart of Srila Prabhupada. And at the end of it all, he gave us some instructions that we should always reflect on. And the first instruction here is that Srila Prabhupada, the role of Srila Prabhupada, it preeminence is beyond every other, personality you may have in this institution. So just reflecting on that alone, it's enough for us, to have good japa time. Very, very important principle. So the second instruction we have here, always accept ISKCON governing body commission, GBC, as the unlimited management, authority of ISKCON, and as Srila Prabhupada's representative, and to therefore follow its instructions and direction. So, following the instructions of the previous Acharya is very, very important for us. And the role of Bhagavad Gita is also very important for us. And these are what keep us in this community safe. So the third one here is lead your life so as to be exemplary representative of ISKCON and Srila Prabhupada. So these are very, very important instructions. We should live a life. There is a word also that it says, live your life in such a way that you may be the mirror that somebody wants to use to look itself. Yeah, the instruction here, lead your life so as to be exemplary representative of ISKCON and Srila Prabhupada. So these are very important instructions. So whatever we're doing, if we are really seeing that Srila Prabhupada is taking note of it, we really want to be an exemplary personality. Really wants to be an exemplary, person, representing this institution. So exemplary is very, very important. So the fourth one, cooperate together with all other ISKCON devotees to push this movement forward. In Bhagavad Gita introduction, Srila Prabhupada emphasized the values and importance of cooperation. He said that in cooperation, we'll enjoy. We are not competitor with the Lord. We are meant to cooperate. If we cooperate with the Lord, then we'll enjoy. So if we cooperate with this institution, automatically, the values of this institution will radiate, will manifest in our life. Somebody may ask, how do we cooperate? You want to throw light on that? How do we cooperate? A question may be raised.
Being very tolerant and patient.
Good. So being very tolerant and patient. But we have different categories of tolerance, right? There may be tolerance in the mood of goodness. There may be tolerance in the mood of passion. There may be tolerance in the mood of ignorance. But in actuality, Cooperation means that what the Acharya expects us to do, because of differences, we are not neglectful of it. We still join hands to push it forward. This is what she's talking about. That is the cooperation we need. There may be some differences, but the mission, the vision of Srila Prabhupada is to see that the institution go beyond as it is today. So, whatever capacity we have, it should be channeled on how to push this institution. Irrespective, there may be some conflict, there may be some differences, but that should not check the growth and the pushing on of this institution. So this is what the fourth instruction is telling us. There might be some conflict. Yes, certainly. Look at the practical principle. The tongue, the teeth, they are good friends, right? But sometimes the teeth cause the tongue to bleed. But the tongue never runs out of the mouth. He never said, because you have caused me to bleed, I will stop to function. It's always there to do its function. It's always there to do its duty. So, what is the significance of this analogy? Is that as we live together, as we work together, there are bound to be some certain conflicts, just like the tongue and the teeth. But these should not make us, keep aside the expectation and the vision of the institution. Like the tongue and teeth, though it's there, we still have to work together. Until again, that comes where she mentioned humility. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, this is one principle that helps us to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. You see, this principle is very important. I have come in contact with so many people. But if you ask them, or even when you let them understand the importance of the Maha Mantra, because of the, that impatient, will I call it impatient or intolerant in them, it's very difficult for them to pronounce this mantra. And we will see, once we begin to give up that principle of tolerance, the taste of this mantra began to dwindle gradually, gradually, gradually. So, though the mantra is very simple, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. In other words, so if we want to enjoy, as Srila Prabhupada said in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita, there is a need for us to build on our strength of cooperation, like the teeth and the tongue. There will be some fights, there will be some pain, but still they have to cooperate to allow all the other organs to get nourished. So it's important. Cooperation is important. And this is emphasized in the fourth instruction. Then the fifth instruction, when some of you advance sufficiently to become a guru and sannyasi, to work under the GBC authorized process to take up this service. So, like we always say, devotional service is not a process of stagnation. What we do every day, if we are really conscious as the institution's name, Krishna consciousness or Krishna conscious. If we're really conscious of Krishna, we will feel that there is something extraordinary taking place in our life. Example, if we look at the life we are living now and the life we have lived previously, there is a big gap. What has caused this gap is our intensity of practice. But if this intensity is not there, at one point, the previous life may surface again. Just like if there is a dirt in this water, and you keep the glass down, after some time the dirt may go down. But if by any means the glass is shaken, all the dirt beneath will pop up. So if the practice is being, neglected or not being in a more active, then the whole dirt will come again. Therefore, the practice, if we are conscious of what we do day in, day out, we see that there is a lot of growth. I often give example of this Baba. 3:00 a.m., you see him in the Samadhi. What is he doing? Chanting. 3:00 a.m. in Samadhi, he's there chanting. And after the Guru Puja, he is the first person to be in Balaram Hall waiting for the class. Today he missed. He thought that it was in Balaram Hall, but it was in conference hall. So he is very, articulate to this. This is essential. Because this helps us in our growth. And this is what the instruction is saying. If we come to that level, there is some recognition. And that recognition pushes us forward to take the right decision or the right steps. So, the sixth, never leave ISKCON. First and foremost, think of yourself as member of ISKCON. Never fight with ISKCON. Resolve your differences internally in a Vaishnava way. What a beautiful... Yes, why not? Why not? This is the fifth instruction. It said, never leave ISKCON. First and foremost, think of yourself as a member of ISKCON. Never fight ISKCON. If we fight ISKCON, who are we directly fighting? We are fighting Srila Prabhupada. We are fighting Srila Prabhupada. Resolve your differences internally in a Vaishnava way. Like we said, these personality they have entered the depths of practice. Certainly, we mentioned before, there will always be some differences, but the ability to resolve it in a more holistic, in a more traditional way, which is the Vaishnava way, is important. The most funniest thing that we will always reflect on, who settled the teeth and tongue? The teeth and tongue, who settled them? When the teeth caught the tongue, then after some time, you see, they come together again to function as usual. Who settled them? So it means that whatever differences that we may have, it's not something that cannot be discussed. It can be discussed and it can be resolved. Especially when we apply, our tradition, our Vaishnava attitude towards the conflict or towards the whatever differences it may be. So this point is very, very important. There is no way we can live together that there will not be differences. An example of these differences is given in Srimad Bhagavatam in Canto 11 also. Still the same Avadhuta Brahmana. He said one time, the Avadhuta Brahmana is speaking to Yadu, King Yadu. He said one time, some guests have gone to visit a young girl. And this young girl, there was no one in the house that time except the girl. The family, they have all gone away. The mother, the father, they've gone away. And these guests, they have come to visit the girl. And normally, since the guest has come, the young girl has to prepare, has to offer some things to the guest. And she discovers that there was not really something to offer, except, some rice that have not been, heat. So she asked the guest to sit, and she was trying to, get something for their reception. So as she was trying to make something for their, reception, she had 3 or 2 rings, bracelets in her hands, bangle, right? So what she was making was, rice, the rice that have not been beaten. So she was beating it, and she thought that she had to be careful because the guest may think that her family is very poor. So she was trying to do this in a more gentle way. What she was doing, making sure that there is no notice, but the bangles in her hands were making some noise. So what did she do? She take one off, and continue. She discovered that the 2 still remaining, they are still making noise. She take one off again, take another one. Then there was no more noise. So when the Avadhuta Brahmana speak this analogy to King Yadu, then King Yadu asked the Avadhuta Brahmana, what actually do you learn? What lesson do you learn from here? He said, the lesson I learned from this young girl is that when people come together, there will always be conflicts. There will always be either you spend too much time in makeup, somebody may say so. Or you spend too much time in the bedroom, I have to take bath. Or you are demanding too much money from me. There will always be conflict when people live together. It's when group of people in number live together, there will be conflict. When 2 people live together, there will be conflict. So, the 3, from 3 to 2, from 2 to 1. So, but here, we cannot live in isolation or away from others. But we have to cultivate that ability to tolerate others. And that tolerating principle is strength in itself. It's very, very important. As a matter of fact, to live in this institution, we have to learn how to cultivate these tolerant principles. It's very, very important. And Mahaprabhu, he actually said that this is one key that helps us really to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. You see? So these 6 instructions bring it more closer. He said, even though there may be that intense conflict, but we should not leave. We should try to resolve it. in a more Vaishnava way. And what is Vaishnava way? When these things has been done, all conflict is resolved. But the ability to put oneself together is essential. That is where the tussle is. So that is why this principle is essential, to always reflect on it. Never fight with ISKCON and never leave ISKCON. So it's an important principle that we should always reflect on. And if there be any issues, we should see to it that we resolve it in a more Vaishnava manner. The seventh one here, never align yourself with persons or group not authorized by the higher authority, the GBC. Never align. The group that is not authorized or not recognized by the higher authority, a devotee should not have influence with them or should not be so attached to them. As a matter of fact, Sanatana Goswami, he wants the Vaishnava of association with those who are not devotees, not devotees. One should be very careful in association with these people. We can give them association, but it is not an ideal to take their association, because they might influence us. It is very easy. It is very easy. I saw a lot of devotees here and there who, a different group have been influenced. So this is what this principle is saying. We should be careful not to attach or to be influenced by an institution, organization, or group that is not being recognized or authorized by the GBC. Very, very important. Why? Because to be chaste to your institution is very, very important. To be chaste to one, institution is an important factor of a practitioner. The last one, because of time, seriously study Srila Prabhupada's books on a regular basis. Always chant at least 16, alternatively rounds every day. Chant at least 25 rounds on Ekadasi and special festival. And strictly follow the 4 regulative principles of no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. These are 4 pillars of sins that every devotee should try not to be involved in. So, the 8th instruction encourages us to strictly put out endeavor to see that Srila Prabhupada's book, we not only study it, but we also want to pass it on to others. Because if we study it and we don't pass it on, what we may have, taken from the book may be very useful, but if we give it out to others, become increased. Therefore, we study Srila Prabhupada's book thoroughly, and we also get the strength to pass this information and to give this book out to others. So these instructions are something that we really have to take to heart. It's not just for a single set of people. It's a reminder of what is expected for every devotee in this institution. And this will help us, actually, if we take it to heart, experience what Arjuna is experiencing in this text. After experiencing the universal form of the Lord, which he requested that he wants to see. The glimpse of what he has seen in this form is what he's narrating. And after narrating these things, not just narrating it per se, he shows that attitude of gratitude is one thing that a devotee should maintain. Whether the thing is small, the thing is big, but attitude of gratitude is very important. So the text 40 is appreciating by, giving obeisances from all different angles. Ecstatic obeisances. So these are a few thoughts I have. Maybe there are some reflection, some comments. Hare Krishna. Some comments, some reflection.
What did you say that when we our Vaishnava ways to offer this obeisances, and I didn't hear that, and all the conflicts will be resolved.
No, the point is that when there is conflict, and we follow the Vaishnava way to resolve it, and the Vaishnava way to resolve it is that when you accept that I made a mistake, you confront to show that I made a mistake, and you have put this plight forward that I made a mistake. The next thing is to pay obeisance. And once that obeisance is being paid, it's resolved. A devotee does not keep, yes, mother, a devotee does not keep any negative thought in his heart. That is why a devotee's life is far different from the life you can experience there. It's very different, completely different. Just like people cannot understand devotee, they cannot also understand, the way they resolve issues. Very simple. Yes, mother, please contribute.
Actually, in our shastras, I can't remember now where, but it is explained when two devotees pay obeisances to each other and say this prajāpatiḥ, it's a very important prayer. It's not just parrot, you can't just speak parrot-like.
Yes.
You have to understand the meaning of the words, and you genuinely speak that to each other.
Yes.
It is described that actually Krishna appears in that obeisance and he helps to resolve the issues.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So Mataji can't, he adds some spice about this, offering obeisance when there is conflict. I remember His Holiness Kavichendra Swami once says that when one stigma that often devotee has is that when there is conflict and you advise the group who has this conflict to come together and do some certain things together. They will, for instance, chant together, chant together, or there will be a kind of opposite. Because when there is conflict, the devotee come to chant together. Automatically, that conflict will be resolved. But when there is one party hanging on to no, that is where the problem. That is where the conflict escalates. That means that though this set of people have been chanting, but they were not really chanting. There's no purification. Because the whole essence of devotional practice is to cleanse the mind. And the mind that is cleansed has no place where any negative thing can hide. For instance, if you have a room that is very thoroughly clean, there is nowhere rat, cockroach can hide. Even when it enters, you can notice and take it out because the room is clean. So the practice of devotional or bhakti yoga is meant to cleanse the mind. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So somebody, we still have a few times. Somebody has a comment or questions before we wind it up? Yes, Prabhu.
Could you read that second instruction again?
Pardon?
Could you read the second instruction again?
The second instruction.
I didn't catch it.
Okay, I will read it again, please. The second instruction is always accept ISKCON's governing body. That is the GBC as the ultimate management authority of ISKCON and as Srila Prabhupada's representative, and to therefore follow its instruction and directions. So, there are Srila Prabhupada's eyes. There is a need for us to always keep the expectation in our minds. They want the devotee to do like this, or they want devotee, so this should always be keep in mind. Are there something more?
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Jai Go Premanande.